to this presentation on case studies from virtual events since COVID-19. Where before we're addressing case studies pre-corona, and you can find a recording of those, the last session on YouTube. I will give the link to you soon in the chat, or after the session I will give it to you so that you can also see what happened before corona and all of the events we did since 2017, all virtually. But now we're going to look into case studies that are actually currently happening and how they are dealing with it. So first, quickly show you, like, these are case studies, for example, we did before corona. So WebEx, it's a community event where they have now 34,000 attendees, and they run a series of online roundtables and workshops. We had a global PropTech event in 2018, and we had people who were organizing pre-events to actually increase ticket sale for real events. For example, an event was called World Workplace Meet Facility for the Future. What I quickly show you is this one, and then we directly move on to the events that are now happening during COVID. Does anyone have questions so far? If so, please put them into the Q&A. You can put a test question there as well, and I will be later addressing them. So let's quickly look at this company, because they're already organizing this event for 10 years fully online. They've never organized any physical event, and this whole company is a large community for business coaches. I click on their link. 1 second. Yeah, here we go. So they use NetworkTables to organize all of these sessions, and this is how their platform looks. They've fully customized the whole design. And what you see here is a page where people can sign up for weekly. This is only 4 weeks. This is their pre-online event. Coaching sessions where people come together and discuss learnings. And as you see, they base it on a name. So I can go to a session, for example, this session. And I'm the only attendee at this moment because they're currently building it up. And here you see that I'm attending and who else is attending. And I can also see here from my overview, a full overview of all of the sessions I'm attending, including all of the Zoom links, for example, you see. So I quickly move on to another case, but this is what they've been doing for 10 years. A full community of online sessions that people can attend, all virtually happening through Zoom. And people are coming together basically every week, and they can join throughout the whole year all of these sessions. Here you see their full summit. So this is still going on until December. And here you can see that the sessions are already fully booked and people are going to attend these sessions. Okay, we quickly move on to the next case. And I'm going to launch my first poll, if that's all right with you. Anyone has any questions so far? No questions? Then I launch the poll. So who of you are thinking of organizing a series of online events? For example, roundtables or workshops. Instead of one day, just, you know, organize a series for your community, for example. If someone wants to share like what their plan in like 1 minute with us promoting you to a panelist, then please raise your hand, because there's 2 people that voted yes. I really want to make this like interactive, otherwise it's super boring to watch it, I think. Someone want to raise his hand? Nobody? Okay, Joke, yes. We'll give Joke the word. She's now joining in as a panelist, and Lenny Klaas as well. But let's first have a look at Joke. Maybe you can unmute yourself and share your video, Joke.
Yes, do you hear me?
Yeah, can you also share your video?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, of course. Just a minute.
Yeah. So 1 minute. What's your plan?
Well, we want to start with also a learning program online this summer for one group of clients. normally we do a lot of learning sessions offline, but we can't organize this at the moment. So we are planning to start a summer school in July and August.
Cool.
So
what is your biggest challenge currently?
The big challenge at the moment is, well, the technique. We don't have a lot of experience online. We tried some things a couple of weeks now, but we want to do it good. We want to organize different kind of events online, not only webinars, but webinars, roundtables, interactive moments. So yeah, that's the biggest challenge at the moment, to see the possibilities and then make a good choice.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let me know if we can help you with that, for example. And Lenny, I think you're also there. Can everybody see Lenny as well?
And can you hear me?
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, as you know, Matthijs, I'm offering for a couple of years already a training program for event managers, and currently we started offering online and hybrid event management, of course. That's the one reason I'm joining your session now, but also that online versions will be of shorter cuts, and it's not like 1 or 2 days in an on-site environment. So it's going to be more like 6 modules, or maybe we'll make it 10 later on. And that's why it might be interested to make that more like an event in your platform, to make people able to join also a few modules and not all 10 or 8. So
okay. And will you price that as well? Like, will you make different ticket types? For example, 1 module and 5 modules, or is it all included?
Yeah. For this moment, it's all included. You follow everything or nothing. But I'm and that's the test drive we're going to make next month, of this month already. But I'm thinking also about maybe for later on to make it more flexible. Okay,
and what is your biggest challenge?
Yeah, good question. Different challenges, of course. I'm used to train 16 years now, but also on site, always on site. So it's a challenge to make it interactive and fun, and networking and content, and all the combination online. That's one. And a safe platform, of course, and in my role I have to show, of course, the event managers what's possible and what's really a great tool to use, not only to offer my own product, but also to show them how they can facilitate their events in maybe the same platform.
Okay, cool. And then does anybody has any advice for Lenny? Please put it into the chat. Like someone has any advice for Yoko or Lenny so far? Someone? Good. Thanks for sharing that, Yoko and Lenny. And I will let's look into some cases that we converted during Corona. Okay. And I will share the results. By the way, here's the results. You see it on your screen now? So 30% is yes. Interesting. Cool. Let me continue and share my screen. 1 second, and let me try to unpromote Lenny to attend. All right. Here we go again. So this we discussed. I will skip this one. One of the big things with them is that a lot of times people share it on social media, which drives extra people to their community. So 3 events surprised by COVID, I would say. One of them is, oh, I clicked on the link. It should not be. 1 second. Do you still see my screen? 1 second. Yeah, here we go. Present. Now it's correct. Ah, there's a chat. Okay, great. So, career talks, virtual group sessions. One of the things that we did is University of Groningen, they had a career fair for students to meet up with alumni, and it would have taken place offline. Basically, they transferred their whole event online within 1 hour. I will quickly share that. Then we will look into an event that just started to do virtual one-on-one meetings in Taiwan. Then we're going to look at an event that was, I think last week, where they had plenary sessions and breakout sessions. So these are 3 events that all took place due to, I would say, Corona. They could not happen physically. So they pivoted their event into virtual event. All right, career talks. Basically, the objective was to, at first, the student wanted to come in contact with alumni and to discuss their career questions. And due to COVID, they had to transfer their event online. How? Alumni were hosting small table sessions, up to 4 people, with topics related to their profession. And basically, students were registering for the talks already. They were already registered before Corona, but they were also still in the registration progress of choosing which companies they would like to meet. When they did that, and when they were still doing that, I think the location was all physical. What they did is they made tickets refundable, but they also announced that they would update the whole location to take place virtually. And this company, University of Groningen, it's a university, they have chosen to do all of the sessions through Google, which I think was quite unique, because most of the time we see Zoom, we see MS Teams, but they chose to organize their sessions through Google. But the nice thing about our tool is that it can be fully flexible. I'll quickly show you how it looked. Here you see, there's a page where, as a student, I could go and pick one of these table discussions with alumni that work for a certain company. So advocaat, business developer at Groningen ING. I could go to a table and then see who else is attending and then join the session. And I had to do 2 rounds, and it was all taking place in the evening. For example, click on the session. And this is a bit boring, but here you see the other students. So you don't need to, I can quickly join the session with 1 click. You don't need to upload any picture. You just get an overview of all of the sessions in your email box, and you join the Google Hangout link when it's time to join. You see? Does anyone has questions so far? No? Then if you have, please put them in the Q&A. The outcome of this event was that students met with 2 professionals. All the sessions were fully booked. And it was very easy for attendees to keep track of when and where the sessions would take place. The final schedule, an email containing all of the links, including timings, and the 45 minutes and 24-hour reminders, they really helped increasing show-up rates. So there is a question. Did Google work for you as well as Zoom? Good question, Lenny Klaassen. So basically what they found is that with Google, they have to give access to a room. So anytime everybody was joining this Google Hangout room, the host have to say, okay, allow this person to come in. I think for small events this is fine, but you can understand that, if there's 50 or 30 or whatever, or thousands of people joining your session, I think this is not smart. So again, this is for every virtual event. I think you should think about what kind of video tools do I already have, because they already had this, so there's no cost involved. And which tools should I actually buy, and which fits the best concept. So a Keynote session would not be, a session where everybody is seeing each other. But this is like a session where I promote you, for example, to a panelist when you have a question. Does this answer your question, Lenny? You can put it into the chat. Someone else has a question? If not, then I quickly launch my next poll. Where? Oh, stop share results. I was sharing the results all the time, sorry. Launch polling, here we go. Oh. It's too late. It's the wrong poll. Let me go to the next session. You see? Do you see the quote in my screen now? Please communicate via the chat. It would really help me. Yes, okay, great. So for her it was a success case, and I think for them to find out that this was really good, a good matchmaking tool for either physical or virtual events. Let's go to the next case. This is actually the next poll. Here we have the Taiwan Startup Stadium. So basically in Taiwan, they want to connect startups with students for internship positions virtually. So they had to organize this event online. How did they do that? An online event is taking place, I think the 30th of May. And it's taking place for 4 hours, between 1 and 5 p.m. And it's fully packed with one-on-one meetings. So basically startups, they have 12 meeting slots of 20 minutes per meeting. Students requested meetings with startups already, lots. And startups inviting attendees to their sessions based on their full profile, including their, like extra profile fields, like the experience, the study they are following, things like this. And everything goes in Mandarin, so everything is like Chinese signs. Startups are the hosts. They're hosting their virtual meeting room, and pre-event they can accept all of these meeting requests. So at this moment, all the matches are being made through NetworkTables and being scheduled, and all the meetings will actually take place through our own video calling tool that we will launch next week, where we actually move people from meeting to meeting, and it's all embedded into NetworkTables. So you will see more about that next week. And students are actually hopping from room to meet the startups and hold speed date interviews. Anyone has a question so far about this event, where you have one-on-one meetings? Quickly show you how their overview looks. So, and also it's good to share you what their schedule looks like that we set up with them. So here you can see all of the startups, you see? No questions, good. As you can see here, there's all the startups, and they all start with 12 meeting slots. And it can happen between 1 and 5, so they're 20-minute meetings. Basically what the startups have been doing, or sorry, the students, they have been requesting meetings with everybody with one click. So I can click on request meeting, and then a pop-up shows up and I can request my meeting. That's easy. And because it's so easy, you see that many requests have been done. The startup, for example, can choose out of 29 students to actually have a meeting with. So, okay, Irina has a question. Let's directly give her the word. Hey, Irina.
Hello. Yes. I have a question. Like when I have made. Do you hear me?
Yeah, but we need to see your video. It's more fun.
Don't need a video. I'm preparing the lunch already. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
When I am made some meetings as a customers, like it's very hard sometimes to keep a track, when I have to make my next meeting. Do you send automatically email reminder that, oh, the next meeting is about to start in 5 minutes, here's the link, or how does it work? For the people who are attending the events and they want to do some meetings, they want to do some sessions, they're jumping from one thing to another, I would assume, I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, so this is actually a very good question. Who else had this question? If so, please raise your hand. Just a funny thing. Just raise your hand if you're also curious. Let's make it a bit more interactive. Come on. So I think, Karine, this is a very good question, because this is very important. How do you, if you have 20-minute meetings, how do you make people move from room to room to room to room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine doing it without a tool. It's almost impossible. So basically what we do is we send out reminders. I think you also received a reminder today. It's a 45-minute reminder, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. Besides that, there's a final schedule email, and also people have their full schedule in the tool. So what's the next level? So what we're actually launching next week, and it's super interesting, is because of this reason that we do a lot of one-on-one meeting virtual events now, we actually decided to integrate a full video calling platform into our tool, so that the video calls basically takes place in NetworkTables. And what we are doing is this. When someone starts their meeting at 1, the video call takes place, and basically we're redirecting people from meeting to meeting to meeting.
Automatically?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's quite cool. So basically you would see a video call in here in NetworkTables. And when the video call is almost ending, you see, you know, your next meeting is starting in 15, 14, 13, 12, 11 seconds, and then it will automatically redirect you to the next meeting. So in this way, I think also, yeah, it helps increasing show-up rates.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, but for now, as we're doing it now, like for this event, we will be doing this, and I think we'll probably share a video on this as well on LinkedIn soon. But for this event, imagine if we're not having this tool, it was just going through the schedules, the reminders, and to the platform where you have all the links in one place and get reminded to start the meeting in time. Thanks for asking this great question. Let me continue and go back to the presentation. So the outcome of this event is not yet there. It's actually taking place on the 30th of May, but at this stage, startups have already between 5 and 35 meeting requests, while they can only have 12 meetings. I think this is really the big thing about NetworkTables, is that because we make it so easy for people to do stuff, they don't need to fill in a profile, they can just directly start requesting meetings, and later on, if they want, they can, you know, add their photo or whatever. This way, I think we reach 85% of the attendees pre-event, and they all book their one-on-one meetings. And I think this is the way to actually achieve results. And now currently, hosts or startups, they are asking the students from a list to have one-on-one meetings with them as well. And soon there will be. Here's the schedule actually, quickly interesting to share. Here we go. Here you see. So until the 15th of May, basically people are requesting meetings. Then companies will start to accept meeting applications from 18th to 22nd of May. And what they will do on the 3rd of May is, yeah, basically the whole session will take place. So probably the 29th or the 28th, they will already send the full schedule with all of the links. And basically this way, people will make their meetings from meeting fully virtually. I think one of the future things is hybrid. And as you can imagine, in NetworkTables, you have an online location, but you could also, besides an online location, have a physical location. So I think this is really the next thing. I mean, I think we're already passing. I mean, the events will not be virtual events, online physical events soon, but smaller events can already be organized soon in the Netherlands, for example. So I think in this kind of time, I think you will have hybrid events. So Julie Taylor, quickly, I'll promote you to panelist. Please share your video and audio and ask your question, because I have 15 minutes left.
Hi, sorry, you had a question.
Yeah.
It cut out, so I didn't hear the question.
Oh, which question?
I don't know. It mentioned my name and then Zoom kicked me out.
Oh, I think you put your hand up.
Oh, it was previously when you asked people to put their hand up about whether it was a good question.
Ah, okay, cool. okay. But thanks for putting your hand up.
It's all right.
You're active. That's good. Okay. Let me quickly launch this poll, and then we move on to the next step. So, are you organizing a virtual event that includes one-on-one meetings? Are you thinking about that? Not many people. Interesting. Only one person so far. Why do you think that is? Too difficult? Not the right tools? What's the reason? Here's the results. See, again, 30%. It's a magic number today. Good. Continue to the next event. I think it's also one of the last events. And then we go end this session with questions. So, Industrial Data Summit. I think this is one of a very typical virtual event you see now that is just more than just a webinar. Basically, their objective was to let attendees join sessions that are most valuable to them in 3 different rounds. While in between, they were actually seated in plenary sessions, and the plenary sessions should be automatically in their agenda. Make sense? So, how did we do that? All the attendees were uploaded into the plenary sessions. So you would join 3 plenary sessions automatically. It would be automatically in your agenda. And we have hidden them from the session overview. As a user, as an event organizer, you can easily do that. You can hide and show things to people based on their text or on their ticket times. Attendees received an email to choose their discussion groups and were encouraged to shape the event. And what they did is they collected input before the event on those breakout sessions. They let the attendees ask 2 questions. I'll quickly show you. You see? So when you were joining a session, that was a session of your free choice. People should state their motivation before choosing the session, but also add 2 questions. To actually discuss. I think this is quite interesting. It's not even for virtual events, but also for physical events. This is a great way for speakers to collect already pre-event some interesting topics and make it very valuable to your attendees, I think. So when people were choosing the sessions, I can also quickly show that if you like. Here you go. Here's the Industrial Data Summit. As you see, the plenary sessions are hidden. Here you see data collection strategy, data quality and integration, different topics to choose from in 3 different routes. Very simple, but as you see, they're all fully booked. And also after the event or during the event, you can directly see with whom you've been in the session, and then you can connect with the ones that you're interested in. So how does it look? How does a final schedule look like? It looks like this. Here you see a schedule. The plenary sessions, as you see, were automatically included. And basically for this person, this is their personal sessions, monetizing data, AI, match machine learning. So in this way, you see here that they attend the event from 10:30 to 3:30. So it's quite long. But yeah, I think it's been worth, and I think they were joining session from session through Zoom. And the video link is actually behind the session. You see that? Anybody has questions? How do you see hybrid events? Tell me more. Okay, I will answer this question in the Q&A because we have 10 more minutes, let's say. Anybody else has a question than just Irina or Joke? There are I think winning in terms of being interactive. So the outcome of this session, quite important, of this case study, sorry. The session size has been updated based on popularity. So this is super interesting. Doesn't matter, virtual events or physical events, if you know beforehand who's going where, and also you know which session is more popular than the other one. You can, for example, in a physical event, you can update locations. You can say, okay, you know what, this startup case that there's only 15 people, workshop room is now fully booked, and I think we should put them on the main stage, for example. So this is one thing. Since virtual rooms have no limit in terms of size and maximum number of people, you can basically easily scale it up or scale it down. So, and I think one of the big things there was that by letting the people put in questions to speakers before the event starts, the speakers could have, they basically provided relevant content based on the audience, their needs. I think this is super helpful. So I have 2 questions, one from Lenny, one from Marina. We'll actually answer them in the Q&A. But before we go to the Q&A, I quickly launch my poll. Who's thinking of organizing a full event, including breakout sessions? So I think this is way more than a webinar. A webinar, you know, is difficult to sell, I would say. But this is good for sponsors. It's good for attendees because they can attend certain sessions they're interested in. And yeah, you just basically offer them a choice. I think this makes it already a bit more a real virtual event. I think this is what they are doing. And they are launching a series of events. You see, so now you see 71% of the people that are in the session here, they are actually thinking of organizing this event. And why do you think that is? Feel free to share it in the chat. Why is this so popular? More popular than one-on-one meetings or a series of round tables. Anyone has an idea? Please raise your hand. Someone has an idea? Why is this more popular? Because of Corona, we are forced to do it digital, yeah. But why just like breakout sessions? Why not one-on-ones and round tables? Anyone has an idea? If so, raise your hand. Who's going to raise their hand and be involved? No one? Okay, then we go to the next Q&A. There are 3 questions to answer. Irina, Lenny, and Guusje. If you have any further questions, please feel free to share. I think okay, Lenny, this is easy. Lenny is asking, in your last example, the times do not connect between sessions. So how do you send them from room to room? Let me quickly look. I mean, we're not sending them from room to room, but this is the tool of doing that. But here you see, I think they are connected, but there's only 5 minutes in between, you see? And I think there's a small break in between. Or were you saying that actually in the plenary session, in the schedule? One second. In the schedule, there were. No, I think they're interconnected. You see, Danny? But it's very close to each other. What they basically learned, we did an evaluation with them, is that next time they indeed would add more space in between those events to give people a small break. So I think this is also a big thing, that people are now learning and changing. I think this is very good. I think this is how it should be. Instead of always doing the same events as the physical events. I think a lot of people in the event industry have been going into a mood where they actually do what has been successful, and now I think they're forced to be innovative. I think that's good. I think personally it's a good sign in these bad times. Guusje, is there a possibility to brand the platform according to a company? This means the design of the emails on the platform. Very good question. I'm going to answer it live. And Guusje, would you also like to be involved as a panelist quickly? Do you want to be sharing your video? Can I promote you to a panelist? I'm going to do it. Quickly share it. So yes, you can actually brand your whole email template. You can brand your whole event. Hey, there you are.
Yes.
Great, Guusje. So Guusje, yes, it's possible. So what you saw here, for example, they've made their whole full own design. Also, you see this event that they are launching. This is very over the top, but this is their fully branded platform. Is this answering your question on branding?
Yeah, and also the email.
Yeah. So if I go to an email template, let me go to a test event quickly. 1 second. This is also fine because maybe this is in Chinese, nobody can read it. So if I go to email templates, I can select a template I would like to edit. 1 second. And then this is the whole idea. We make the templates for you. And you can edit the templates according to your needs. You can add your own branding, you can add your own HTML templates, everything. Do you have experience with that?
Yeah, kind of. But I'm also wondering, like most of the time when companies host a marketing event, they actually want to gain specific data of their attendees. Do you have something that you actually collect data, or that you have like an export for a specific data platform?
Yeah, that's a good, very good question again. So actually you're collecting a lot of data. Look at this one-on-one event, for example. So here's here's their email templates. I think they keep it very basic. I think it's good to let people take action. But I think if you go to export, I want export their data now. But here you can see a list of all of the exports possible, you see? Yes. So you can, for example, export a list of all of the meeting requests that have been done, including the motivation, you see?
Interesting.
You can export a whole list of all of the meetings or all of the sessions that took place and who was going where. But this is also, I hope it answers your question.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Looking at another question. Guusje, is it fine if I promote you again back to an attendee?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, okay, Lenny, I thought there was more time in between. Yes, no worries. Yeah, there should be actually. Last question, Irina. I think it's something good to end with. Do I need Zoom like software to use NetworkTables? I think this is a very good question. And also, how do you see hybrid events? And I would like to involve everybody into that. Is everybody just fine ending this session a bit more interactive? 1 second. Does anybody want to share their views on basically hybrid events? I think Jan Lely, what do you think about this? I'm going to promote everybody to panelists. Don't be scared. Oh, people are leaving now. Okay, just leave it. I leave it like this. Just the people that want. Hey, okay, so we're just the small group of people that want to share the video. Okay, I just leave it like this to not overload Zoom. So, how do you see hybrid events, guys? Anybody? Yuli?
I mean, I like to see the future. You know, we're speaking about, you know, like, of course, you already partially answered these questions, you know, because you said that I really like this option when I go to the conference, I'll give some days to the people to prepare and send the questions, you know. I think it's really good, you know, and definitely the next conference cannot be, I would think, like, if I do live events again, I will never do them without it, because this is a great function, you know. So this is the beauty of hybrid events, right? But what is the real future, you know, like far away, you know? What do you see? Yeah.
Good question.
This combination of virtual and the live world, right? You know, by pre-scheduling what your actions, who you want to meet, and things like that, which is like been always already popular for some years. It's not really like new one-to-one meetings, you know, but I don't really see like the far away future, you know.
What do you think, Jan Lely? I would like to get your ideas on it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I think in the far future we will use augmented reality, so that you have a kind of glasses on, and that you can move through space, and you can see other people also moving through space, and that you can use the controls with your hand.
I don't know.
Like
I've
you do.
seen such events. I've seen. I have tried something virtual events, right?
Yeah, but you need.
It's like a game. It's like a gaming element.
Yeah, it's like gaming. Yeah.
No, but I realized that I like the structure like Matthijs have better. Why? Because you go there, it's very clean and clear. You know, it's very easy.
Okay, this is you, Irina. I think I basically agree with you, but I think what Jan Lely says is like augmented reality. I think it's something of the future, but I think for a lot of people, let's say 2 or 3 years ago, virtual events in general were also the future, I think, but nobody wanted to take this action. But this is a big question. Like, do they want to take this next action, or do they see it as way too innovative?
You know, because right now, what we do in these online events, I see that they are as productive as live events. There will be some risk of coming back to the real life events. I feel like I can do business online. The only things like who can sustain, you know, to stay whole day, you know, in the webinar. I just did my lunch right now during this webinar, and I'm proud of it because, like, I was reading about it seriously. I just waiting for the last dish to be, you know, which is in the oven, you know. But look, I hear that there is some sort of anxiousness where the people now getting used to the webinars. I can find this link. I can send you can share the link to this psychologist, you know, and she's saying that it's very hard.
Yeah. So what someone else thinks about it before sharing my opinion about it? Because I think hybrid events are the future, especially now that people are used to virtual events.
Yes.
So
come back to the combination.
Someone else?
I think I also expect a combination, especially, but also we are forced to get used to online now. So the anxiety, how do you say it in English? Yeah, the fear of not being comfortable with the techniques. We are forced to get used to it now. So and experience that it works really well in a lot of cases. So it's not. Also, after COVID, it's not going to leave us back to the last year. Yeah. It's going to be an integrated and maybe a how do you say? So we really have to look at the target of the event, and sometimes with networking and live meetings, they will not disappear. They are needed also for networking. But the combination is very well to be organized, and it helps each other. And like Julie said, or who said it, it's very effective. So I'm not going to drive to the other side of the country also for a one-to-one meeting.
True. Also think about the costs. Like when we are exhibiting at an event, like a meeting show, maybe we have a cheap booth. But on the other hand, we're spending double amount on the travel costs and hotel costs to go with the team. And also we're there for 2 days. So it's very unproductive. It's productive because we have 65 meetings spread over 2 days. So that's good. But on the other hand, what I'm doing there is scheduling meetings at that exhibition to have meetings through Zoom. And then become more concrete with people. So basically, if you give me the same amount of leads, just in terms of like Zoom video calls, I would definitely close more deals, make more money, whatever. I think those people, at exhibitions, they're, let's say like 20% are also walking around just drinking beers.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that.
And they're totally, like I was in Germany, and they're totally drunk walking around. I think this is not the idea of an event. I mean, it's a great experience, right? So I have friends that work at, let's say cloud companies, and yeah, they don't like to go to these events, especially not virtually, because then but imagine going there, it makes it more fun to have a whole circus around it. And I think now we're going back more to be more effective. Why should people attend the event? Like because there's a nice band? No, because maybe you want that physical touch again with your customers. I think still you can do business, but I think it's also good to build relations through, seeing each other in real life. I think you don't need to go to a real life event to basically be listening to a keynote session.
I think especially when you've already met someone, it's easier to keep up the contact.
That's also good, yeah. To end this, like I think the future is, I think it's a lot in hybrid events because now we're switching back to physical events, and now I think people are thinking of how can we combine it. It's quite funny because now that you can only organize events until a maximum number of people, I think you need, if you want to do a big event, you need to think about hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I'm going to offer a part online and the other part physical, and how can I combine it? I think one of the things for that is tools. Also, one of the things in general is that now event organizers are more than ever looking into the security, like safety of their attendees. That I think you need to know who has been where at what time. It's maybe their privacy, but on the other hand, it's also in their own hands to be signing up for sessions and saying I'm going to attend them online or I'm going to attend them physically. And I think if you give them the option, if you give both options to people, I think you can run great events. By just adding a live stream. I think things like live streaming, I think should become way more easy. You know, putting a high quality webcam in a room with a good microphone, done. Then you have a breakout session covered, for example, a workshop room. I think it's more difficult for a keynote session, but I think you already have audio visual people for that. So they can connect that to a Zoom stream call, and they can even collect questions and they can show it on the screen, for example. So I think it will really be a combination. Also, I think one-on-one meetings for business, I think they could easily take place online. I think those are more difficult running hybrid. To be able to like, oh, now I should jump into a call or now I should go into a coffee. So I think networking events, what is the most difficult event to organize online? A drink. So I think, yeah, people will be partying more than ever in events, but I think the question is like, which events are made for that? I think B2B events are not made really for that. I don't know. I think I can imagine an event where you sell products, like the huishoud works. Those cannot take place online.
Yeah, but I do agree with you. There is a future for the combination of both, you know, because I think I would say the first step is to meet each other online and kind of narrow the group of people who really want to meet on live, and then do the live events, you know, for this kind of purpose of doing a special experience, because the special experience, unforgettable experience, was who I were until now, and now like, how do you translate it online? You know?
For you it's quite important, in the cosmetic business.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, now I need to understand how I am special and different from the others. But I really like
we need to finish it.
Company of yours.
Yeah.
Sorry?
We need to finish the webinar.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Sorry.
Thanks, everybody. Oh, sorry. Here's to connect, but I think some of you already can connect.
Bye.
You can use your phone while being in an online meeting. So it's a hybrid almost. You're using a device to connect. Check it out.
We zijn al geconnect, denk ik, hè?
Yeah, we're already connected.
Ik bel jou, thanks.
Rina, difficult.
Ik bel jou volgende keer.
It was a great session. Thanks for being so interactive. And if you would like to follow up, just send me an email or...
I'll get back to you, Matthijs. Thank you so far.
Cool, thanks.
Thank you for now.
Okay, bye-bye.